against the 9:09 p.m. Eastern Time Monday night episode of Movies and Stuff show. Here's who we got this week. It's Marty, Nick, and Jamill.
Hey.
Happy 9/9.
So
that's right. So let's just get into this. This is Deadpool 2, Electric Boogaloo.
That works.
that would have been cool.
It does.
Yeah.
Okay, so me and Marty kind of talked about Deadpool. I realized that we talked like 3 minutes about Deadpool last week, didn't we, Marty?
Well, we talked a lot of trailers. We talked some Deadpool 1, and then we talked a little bit about what we expected out of this movie. And we were wrong, essentially. Both of us were not particularly excited going into this movie. We thought it'd be one kind of thing. And we both walked out, as we've talked a little bit off the air, really enjoying it. So it's
true.
Fuck you to us.
It's
essentially.
True.
Hold on. I didn't watch last week's episode. You guys don't like you guys didn't like the first Deadpool?
The thesis was it's not a top 20 comic book film.
Yeah.
Oh,
and we counted down. We counted down.
That's
at least 20 movies over Deadpool. Number one.
Because you initially said it, and I was like, "Yeah, come on."
And Marty disagreed with me. Then we started just talking about them.
Okay, but my thing is, what does that have to do with you enjoying the movie or not?
No, we were revisiting Deadpool 1 and just kind of going, yeah.
And
20 in front of him.
Well, listen, there's 20. Go watch our episode from last week. You can count the 20.
Oh no, that's definitely 20. There's at least two. There's 10 from like the last 8 years.
Yeah, right.
It all depends. It all depends on what your criteria is, I suppose.
Well, if we have time at the end, we'll shoot back.
Maybe we'll go back to it. No, I mean, I thought the first Deadpool movie was okay. I'm not a fan of Ryan Reynolds, and he grates on me. And this is Ryan Reynolds at his Ryan Reynolds-esque, right? This is fucking Van Wilder in a comic book movie. And if you don't like Ryan Reynolds, it's tough to get over that hump. Now,
see, I'm a fan.
See, I'm not, and I think one of the things I liked about the first movie was the surrounding characters, was the supporting characters. I love what they do with Colossus, right? I think that is a great characterization of this, and I love Negasonic Teenage Warhead. And I think what I really liked about Deadpool 2 is all of those side characters are even better. Like, I mean, you're getting. I love Domino. I tell you.
Oh, yeah.
I love Domino. I thought she was great. Yeah. I thought Cable. I thought Josh Brolin had fun with Cable. I think it was his anti-Thanos, just like having fun in this comic book movie. I think with Thanos, it's like, oh shit, I signed up for this. Now I gotta actually do it. Like when he signed on as Thanos, it was just kind of like background character guy sitting in a chair, fucking grimace in the background.
Yeah, but then when we got Thanos, we're like, holy shit, this is amazing.
But I think now, this is his. So it's like, all right, now I'm just gonna have some fun, right? And they made the Goonies reference.
Yeah.
So.
This man has had a banner year in 3 weeks. Like.
Yeah, and the trailer to Sicario looks good.
He's kind of like it looks like they're setting him up as the bad guy in Sicario too, right? I just saw the most recent trailer and
he wasn't necessarily a good guy in the first one.
Yeah,
I mean he's a government agent. DEA guy who does what he wants, essentially. So I mean, take what you want if that's good or bad.
Yeah, but no, I think what I liked about the first one, they provided a lot more of it. They added Yukio, right? The girlfriend to Negasonic Teenage Warhead, and I liked her. Every time she said "Hi, Wade," and Juggernaut was great. Like
that was a great surprise.
I thought that was an awesome surprise. Jamill, you disagree?
No. It's just, how is it that these two joke movies get the X-Men right more than the actual X-Men movies?
Well,
I know.
Like in my lifetime, I thought I would never see Juggernaut fight the Colossus in a live-action movie.
Amazing.
And I never thought I'd see in a fucking Deadpool movie. Like why can't they do this for the X-Men movies? Like
that's why it's so hard to predict, because
Bryan
like you said,
Singer.
They had the whole, there's the monster in the basement thing, and I guess some people might have guessed Juggernaut, but I would never even came to mind, because you don't know what they have the rights to.
It could have been the Blob. I was racking my brain, like there's a lot of big ass mutants that it could have been.
And so when he says Juggernaut, I was like, oh shit, Juggernaut, yeah, that was fun. I mean, and like
I was.
there's so little. There's they keep joking all the time. Oh, we only get 2 of the crappy X-Men here. We don't get the full thing. So you never really know what's going to happen. And this one I thought delivered on so many surprises that was just great. And like the one part they interesting the way they sold this movie, and that it was all kind of X-Force, and what they told us really wasn't what the movie we got, because
I love that.
The one part of the movie where I was like, oh, I don't get why they're doing this right now, is when it kind of comes out of nowhere where they bring the whole team together.
I loved it.
I was watching the thing. I was like, oh, they're gonna do this. This might spoil us. And then like, boom! It's like, wow, great! They killed them all.
It was a straight troll.
Like every time I thought they weren't doing something right, they fixed it like that. It just everything in this movie worked for me.
I gotta say, I had a mild suspicion they were gonna do it once I found out that Brad Pitt was playing the Vanisher.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
Once I found out Brad Pitt was playing the Vanisher, where you weren't gonna see or hear him, I'm like, I wonder if they're gonna pull this where they pull them together and just kind of kill them all.
Did you notice
like
Matt
the
Damon?
other guys?
Yeah, right.
Did you notice Matt Damon was in it?
Oh no, who was he?
Damon was one of the guys that Cable steals the truck from.
Oh,
yeah, Damon, and the other one was
Alan Tudyk, I believe.
Yeah, Alan Tudyk. Yeah.
How'd you like with the X-Men in the background? That nice little throwaway scene.
Great.
Yeah.
That was great.
It put them in the universe without them even having to do anything. That was amazing.
No, I wouldn't go that far. I don't think.
I mean, they put the entire cast. It's at the actual cast.
I don't think you can take the rules don't apply to Deadpool movies. So the fact that they were just there, I don't think it means that they're going to be in any other movies. I think it's just a fun little.
I don't think they're going to be in any other movies, but it was a great
it's perfect.
It was the fact that he's saying is like, where's all the X-Men? There's no X-Men are ever here, and then they just pan and they show all of them. They just close the door.
Like I said, it really doesn't make any sense for them to be there either, because they're the characters from like the '80s version of the X-Men, so it wouldn't even make sense that they were in this movie. But it's just the Deadpool side gag don't really. That's why they can do the whole ending, and you don't even care what that doesn't make sense, because they just kind of play by their own rules.
Yo, the whole movie is about him losing his girlfriend, and it's all
spoilers,
this.
By the way.
Huh?
I said
spoilers, by the way.
I mean,
you already spoiled Juggernaut. Once you spoiled the jerk. Yeah. But the whole movie hinges on that, him dying, him going to see her in heaven. And they fucking changed all that shit in a 10-second sight gag at the end.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Like any other movie, that would be frustrating. But for some reason, like, okay, I guess.
Yeah, we always give Marvel, not Marvel. Well, this is Marvel, but we give the Avengers shit for, deaths are never real, the deaths don't count. But this is like, oh, good, she's alive. Like we want, and that was the crazy thing. Me and Dan actually talked about it last week, that we didn't see her much in the trailers. We wonder if she'd be any part of this movie. And then boom, they kill her right off the bat, and it worked. It was not like a jokey thing. It was, holy shit, they went right there right away.
It's crazy. The beginning had me thinking that not that she died, that she left him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, he sets it up with the same thing they did last year.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of misdirection.
First movie, but they kind of let me go back in time and show you what happened. But for this one, it was almost only a couple weeks or something that he went back in time where telling the story.
I almost put this on as like a reverse mirror of Logan in many ways, because you have Logan, you have the Wolverine character who he can't die, right? And then finally he's facing his mortality in this Logan movie where he actually is dying, right? And then you have this Deadpool character who he has got nothing to live for anymore. And he's trying to die, and he can't die, and he's facing this fact that he's immortal in a way, and he finds a reason to live through this kind of like dream sequence-esque type thing with his dead wife. He's trying to save this kid, and I like the fact that he's trying to save this kid's life, but he does one better, right? He literally saves this kid's life by stopping him from becoming this bad guy, and I think that meant more of him, saving the innocence of this kid really than his life. I thought that was great. I thought this parallels very well to Logan. They spoofed that in the beginning with the whole the Logan statue thing. Him being speared, and there's always the tease of is Hugh Jackman, going to be in the Deadpool movie, and he was twice, kind of.
I really thought we were going to get that. I didn't think, of course, I didn't think it'd be a Wolverine thing. I thought we'd have Hugh Jackman, the actor, or something in this movie somehow. But we did. I guess we got him a few times.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do like rope him into X-Force when they do that, because the idea is that they're going to go X-Force now.
No,
well, that's what they were talking.
Well,
afterwards.
I think they'll probably call it Deadpool 3 X-Force. And I'll have Domino back and Cable, and maybe they'll add Colossus. Like that's how they kind of set it up.
No offense, but like I'm glad I like this team, but it's a shitty X-Force team in a weird way. Like I kind of wish. No, don't get me wrong. I'm glad they killed everybody because
like Shatterstar. I mean,
yeah, they fucking killed. That's like a big deal. I'm like, oh shit, they like people been waiting for that for years, and they just offed them. But
were people really waiting for Shatterstar?
Listen. I mean,
he's a big enough character. Yeah. Like he's not a huge character, but he's a big enough character where you wouldn't think they would just.
Well, he's an original member of the team.
I'll be honest, and if it represents, I mean, I'm like somewhat comic book. I'm a big comic book movie fan, but not so much comic fan. I didn't even know those are real characters. So I'm assuming 95% of the audience didn't know they were real characters.
Yeah, Vanisher's a real character. Shatterstar's a real character. I mean,
Domino.
I assume Domino was quite popular. I figured the other ones were like just fake ones they made up for this movie.
I cannot speak enough about how awesome Domino was in this movie, though. I love the characterization of it.
I love what they did where, typically Domino is white skin, black dot.
Yeah.
Since the girl's black, they made the dot on her eye white. Yeah. I was like, okay, yeah, they're doing this now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like they did little touches. I was telling Marty earlier at work, I was just like, the craziest thing about this specific movie or what they're doing with Deadpool is you can actually tell that they know the comics. Mm-hmm. Based on the movie, just the Easter eggs and how they're playing everything. It's the most comic movie where we've seen.
I agree. I think they're really embracing the character. I mean, this is Deadpool and what I used to love about Deadpool in the comics. When I started reading comics, it was pretty much the death of Superman, and then I had Executioner's Song. So like I had a lot of these X-Force characters that were showing up and fighting Strife, who is Cable's evil twin.
Let's not
talk about Stripe. Yeah. But so I grew to like a lot of those characters from this era, and I think that they embrace that. They understand the origins of all these different characters, and they're not afraid to have fun. I mean, what was one of the biggest kind of uproars about Wonder Woman? It's like, oh my God, she's an Amazon and she has purely waxed armpits. And what do they do with Domino here? Yep, she's got armpit hair. They don't fucking care. Like,
I didn't even catch that. That.
It's just whatever. So I like the fact that they're. I actually took track. I think I told Marty. Maybe I missed a couple, but I think I tracked 5 outward Marvel references and 4 DC references.
Yeah. Was it 4? Yeah, it was Martha.
Are we counting all the Green Lantern references?
I counted the Green Lantern reference. So here's the references I caught. Let me know if I missed any. Okay, let me find this. All right. It says the Black Widow. He calls Domino the Black Widow.
Yep.
He refers to Cable as Thanos. Mm-hmm. He makes a Martha joke. It's like our mothers were both named Martha.
Yeah, so we stopped fighting.
Of course, there's the Logan reference, and then at the very end there was he kills the Deadpool from Wolverine Origins.
Yeah, that was great.
He says this to Juggernaut: "Sun's getting real low."
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. At one point he says,
there's subtle ones too. It's not even like.
Yeah, like the sun's getting real low, and that's a very subtle one that you have to
really
know.
Yeah.
No,
that's
my entire movie theater started dying laughing.
Yeah. I was in parameters. The audience, but you still your average.
Like if you watched any comic movie, you'll remember that just because it's recent.
It's only used like 2 or 3 times though.
They used it.
But don't forget now, it was in Thor Ragnarok.
They made a lot of jokes in Thor Ragnarok with that one.
And it was in Avengers.
Yeah,
they mentioned it.
It says I'm Batman, and then he says that's dark like DCEU.
Exactly.
And then he kills Ryan Reynolds with the Green Lantern script. So those are the references, all the references I caught, and then I just also love the Holy Shit Balls Juggernaut song.
Yeah.
I thought
And
that was
then the
great.
mention of all the Juggernaut comic appearances.
Yeah.
Juggernaut actually slips it in too. That what's his name was his brother.
Xavier. Yeah, he mentions Xavier.
Yeah.
Brother wears
Yeah.
a wheelchair.
Mhm.
Interesting fact. I didn't know this. Juggernaut was actually Ryan Reynolds.
No,
Really?
was it?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
He was because the character was completely CGI, so they had Reynolds do the voice.
That's fucking
Ah.
funny.
Yeah.
And you know what? The thing about the CGI, it doesn't necessarily look real. It doesn't look necessarily Thanos real, but they gave it a weight that most CGI doesn't have. Like,
Well,
you know, I
the
appreciate that.
So big. The characters using the CGI are so big. Like I
Yeah.
thought Juggernaut looked really fake though, but Colossus somehow looks real. It was weird.
I mean, like they both look kind of fake, but there's a weight to the fight. Like it wasn't like a floaty weight, usually like how it is with like CG characters. Like they put a lot of weight
It
behind
wasn't like
it.
a Pacific Rim character fucking fight.
Oh no,
you know?
No, yeah, it wasn't none
It's
of
like
that.
Godzilla versus fucking Mothra or whatever that shit was. It was great to see them fight though, like because I like the 12-year-old in me was like fucking Colossus and
I know.
Juggernaut.
Yep.
Oh my god, yeah, that
And
was
that fight went the way it should have.
Yeah.
Juggernaut beating the shit out of Colossus.
yeah. They getting electrocuted up his ass. Tell me, Colossus cursing wasn't even just an awesome moment based on the rules that they created. You know what I mean? This movie's just chock full of moments.
Yeah,
And
it
what-
really is. Yeah, I mean, I think me and Marty were talking about the one thing that maybe they could have made that doctor or the teacher, the principal, whatever, a little bit more of a villain. But I think the subtext was there, especially when Domino shows up and she makes that reference of like it's like, yep,
This shit there.
I got tortured here too. I think
There's an interesting little thing with that hospital too, which I just found out earlier today. The name of the
Mr.
hospital, Essex House, Essex Corp. So they're teasing the Mr. Sinister thing.
Mhm.
So that's actually pretty cool that they're doing that. So
Have we seen Sinister? We saw like a
No.
glimpse of Sinister. Well, I thought we saw a glimpse of Sinister in Age of Apocalypse.
No.
no,
No,
well,
it was the same thing. SO Corporation. It was the
No?
same
Yeah.
thing.
So we haven't seen him at all.
Mm-mm.
nope. It's just the mention of the Essex Corporation in this and in Deadpool 1 they mentioned it as well.
He'd be a good villain for the third one then.
Yeah. So like
He'd
there's
be a good villain for X-Men. Like
I
I'm surprised they haven't used them yet.
Well, so
Yeah,
much of X-Men still up in the air. I mean, Dark Phoenix there were supposed to be 2 other X-Men movies this year that got delayed, either canceled or reshot, delayed.
they're
and
both delayed.
The
from it.
sale is still it's still not finalized, so it's really hard to plan anything X-Men wise right now. That's why even Ryan Reynolds on his all the press releases is like, yeah, we're not sure yet what's gonna happen. They want to do the X-Force, of course, but they don't know. Is Disney gonna let them keep doing R? They gonna let them.
I mean, they
They have
to.
to. They don't have a choice.
That's what scares me. Like I'm not a Disney hater. I love Disney, so I'm not one of these people that say Disney ruins shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of those people. But they could ruin this. They could easily ruin it.
No, they wouldn't make it hard. I mean,
they're-
they would treat it like they treat Netflix.
Yeah, but that Netflix is a completely different animal than a
No.
I
but
think
still,
they might shy away from putting the Disney kind of fucking logo or branding
Yeah.
behind
Bring
it.
back
but
Touchstone.
It might, yeah, exactly.
They're
Well, yeah, they would have like just a it's
Buena
its own
Vista,
its own kind of
anything.
thing. It would be a Marvel movie, but they have to treat it separately. I mean, they can't mess with this, man. They can't mess with it. In fact, like you're starting to look at like you're starting to look at DC and say, maybe fuck it, DC. If you're gonna go all in, just fucking go the rated R route at this point, right? I mean, part of me wants that, but then I start to think about like it's so weird. I start to think about Batman and Superman and these characters that kids love, and I'm like, man, if they went pure rated R with these characters, I mean, it'd be fine for us, but like not being able to take a young kid to go see fucking a Batman movie.
Oh,
I
I had 3 or 4 in my theater.
I know.
This week.
No, I know. There's a lot of kids
I
in
wanted to
Deadpool
bring
too.
my son. My son was like, no, but like, you know what though?
He said
Here's
no.
the thing. Yeah, my son. Yeah, my son ain't really with the blood and violence. He's not really a blood and violence type of
I
10-year-old.
respect it.
But no, you know what though? If you look at it, The Dark Knight was rated R. Like you can do a hardcore Batman Superman movie.
No, you good.
It just has to be good because, like, as we know, the MN whatever they call, they'll give you some leeway if you're a big enough studio. But no,
Dark Knight was
I-
actually PG-13.
I know.
No,
I'm
he's
just
just
saying.
saying.
It's
Like, it could have been
it
R.
was
It could
adult.
have been R.
Right.
Based
It was
on yeah.
right.
You can push PG-13. The only thing that pushes Deadpool past the R mark is the amount of blood and the curse.
Yeah, cursing and
But
sexual.
I mean,
There's not
any
much
kid-
sexual stuff in this one, though.
Not in this
Honestly,
one, no.
This one was
last
toned
one
it
had a
down
lot.
a lot with the
a
sexual
dick.
innuendo.
Not as much titties. Yeah, not as.
Yeah, the baby dick,
baby,
the baby
that was
balls.
I mean, again, this is you can't really apply rules to Deadpool, but it kind of doesn't make sense that in one scene he blows himself up, and then he's just put back together.
his
next
body
scene.
regenerates. They don't really tell you how much time passed.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, it seems like it's the next fucking day.
Hey,
And then,
hey,
but then when he's ripped apart, they can't just put him back together ripped apart wise. He has to grow new baby legs and everything.
yo, they ripped the shit out of him. I'm like, oh shit, they did. Like
Yeah.
that was the most shocking moment.
That was probably T.J. Miller's best and only good scene too.
Oh, he's definitely not
You
in the
just start talking, you just cock
Yo.
a shirt there.
I put money in it that he was in a lot more of this movie.
And then,
I
Then he
would've-
start fucking up, and they just start chopping as much as possible.
I don't. You know what? If they did that, then this is the best editing I've ever seen in a movie because I can't really see where you fit him.
I would imagine he would have
Like,
been in the end somehow.
His little touches
Yeah,
are good for where they're at. You know what I mean?
Like, he'll be definitely at the end with the Indian dude because the Indian dude was at the
Cab
end.
driver's the best. Cab driver's
Yeah.
awesome.
His
Fucking
story arc
awesome,
is
man.
amazing. Pinder, Brown Panther. That's another. That was a reference you didn't miss. There was another reference actually. They referenced, and I found this out later that this is actually specific to T.J. Miller. Remember how I can't remember his name now. The man raper.
Kevin, which one? There's a lot.
Spacey.
Kevin Spacey, yeah.
So how Spacey was replaced digitally with Chuck Palahniuk. They made a joke in the movie and they mentioned Palahniuk in the movie.
Not
like
Plumber.
Plumber.
Yeah.
Chris, they mentioned Plumber in the movie as if they tried to get him to replace T.J. Miller.
Yeah.
That was mentioned in the movie. I love the fourth wall breaking because you could be so self-referencing, and then it also allows the character to just be like, you know what, fuck this shit. This is stupid. So I'm gonna do something stupid.
I think there's a danger behind it, and they didn't cross the line. They didn't go too schlocky with it because they could have. To me, I felt it was the right balance. In the first one, I think they did it a little too much. To me, I think they scaled that back a little bit. They still had it.
Well, the first was narrated. That's why.
Yeah.
This one was too to an extent,
Yeah,
but not
kinda, but not as much. Yeah.
Yeah, like we said, that was me and Dan talked about that last week too, where we thought it was too much of that and too much of easy jokes. But I don't think I didn't really have a problem with that this time around. I don't know why, but it just everything worked easier for me, and it was more like the action worked more. All the cable stuff was great. All the domino stuff.
Double the budget on this one.
That
Still
worked
low,
as well.
still a low budget in the scheme of these movies.
Yeah,
I think it was
I mean,
110,
yeah.
112, and the original was 50 something.
I
But
think part of that also is though, like you gotta the last director, I forget his name, but Tim Miller, right? So when he directs it, he goes to make the movie purposely make it low budget. But this entire movie comes spawned off of a 5-minute short that they did, and then they greenlit a movie around that short. This movie is a movie that was created with intentions to be made a movie, not like, oh, let's make this short and then let's make a movie where we can fit this scene in and then we'll figure it out afterwards. This was actually a movie that they planned. So I think that's why
I always
think
thought that was a little. That was a little shifty. I'm not sure if that was even true. I think they had the movie planned the whole time. It's like
I don't know.
Like
I saw that. I saw that CGI thing maybe 2 years before the movie.
Yeah,
came.
like way before. Like they did that years ago. They did that almost. I want to say a couple of years after Origins.
Yeah. Because they tried to get they were using that to get the studio to sign for the movie. So they was like, look, we made this cool ass thing. We should make a movie. And then, it happened.
It leaked. Look, it leaked by somebody we don't know who. Ryan Reynolds probably leaked it.
Here's one of my issues with Ryan Reynolds as well, and is he's making fun of himself in these movies about all the bad decisions he's made, but he still made those fucking bad decisions. He still opted to play that shithole of abortion of a Deadpool, and he still opted to play that fucking horrible rendition of Green Lantern. I mean, I know he's making fun of, and you can have this regret, but he's like he can't escape those fucking
I'm gonna
decisions.
defend Green Lantern. I'm defending.
Listen,
Green Lantern.
I actually defend.
I don't think it was that
It's
bad.
okay.
I
It's
defend
okay.
Green Lantern more so than that Deadpool from that
But to
origin.
be
Oh, no,
fair,
yeah.
but to be fair, you just don't like him. That's why you so angry. But it's just like Keanu Reeves. I can forgive Keanu Reeves for all the bad movies he did, or even his bad acting sometimes. Ryan Reynolds took that X-Men origin role with a promise of doing a Deadpool movie. It was a devil's handshake.
Yeah.
The devil just didn't put in for his part. Like that's the only reason he took that. He knew that movie was bad, but fuck it.
He also
you know
mocked that movie again during the scene where he's cutting bullets in half.
Oh yeah, where he gets shot up.
Because in the whatever Origins, he can cut every bullet that comes at him like crazy, like nothing. But this one, he can just get one, but everything else hits him. But it's
a good scene. That was a good scene, though.
Do we also? Is it at some point? Is it not fair to the other people that worked on Green Lantern to keep shitting on them like that though? When like it's okay, he can make fun of because now he's successful and fine.
Well, he married the girlfriend.
But, yeah, everybody else in that movie probably that was involved in the movie got fucked over. You know?
Well, no, that's not true because his best friend was the dude that directed Thor Ragnarok in that movie. So.
Oh really?
Oh.
Yeah, Tiki
Waititi.
Yeah. He's the best friend in that movie in Green Lantern. So
I feel like he's the one that casted the little New Zealand kid, the little chubby kid.
Probably, probably. Yeah.
The little gender neutral kid. Yeah.
Did we like him at all? I mean, because
I like him because he is exactly what would happen if a bullied fat kid gets powers. It's to the T. You can't even this kid was bullied. He got powers. He's like, I'm gonna fuck some shit up.
And
okay, but I will say this though, going back to Green Lantern, a guy named Martin Campbell directed Green Lantern, and he hasn't done anything but TV movies since. So
it's on him.
But I mean, to keep shitting on him.
Martin Campbell isn't he the GoldenEye director?
He did it, Casino Royale. Edge of Darkness.
Yeah, he did Casino Royale after Green Lantern.
Green Lantern, and then, like I said, since then, TV movie.
Green Lantern was after Casino Royale.
It was.
Mm-hmm. So and it's just some other crap. So I mean, there are some still people who are
career killer.
Yeah.
Please don't make the suit CGI.
You know what?
So real quick, D's mentioning bashing Green Lantern again. They only touched upon it in the after scenes credits.
It was during the movie too, I believe.
Nope, there was not another.
There wasn't another
Green Lantern.
I did watch the original Deadpool again as well.
There was a lot in the original,
it was in that as well.
But this one only saved it to where he kills Ryan Reynolds reading the script. They saved it for just one kind of impactful thing.
It's almost to say that they're making this movie and they're saying, you know what, guess what? It's not really Wade Wilson. It's me, Ryan Reynolds. I'm Deadpool. And it's just like, they're just running with it. You know what I mean? Like, he kills himself before he makes the movie. Like, what more do you want? He's like, Canada, you're welcome. Like, what the fuck? I don't know, man. I'm fine with it. I don't care. You can't really get mad at him poking fun at his past because these comic
I'm not mad at it, but I just think there's got to be someone who worked in a movie who's like, all right, you know what? Fuck you. You sucked in a movie too.
Well,
but you still got the handsome Ryan Reynolds.
I do think that they can't do it anymore, though. Like, they can't have, in the third, if they make a third one of these, they can't have another Green Lantern joke.
Well, no, they retconned it, so now it doesn't happen.
So, you know what I'm saying? They can't have that. You know, I think if he goes back to that well again, because there's so much to go, like, there's so much to go back to. Like, I mean, think of the history of comic book films. Like, and, you know, the fact that, like, I'm surprised they didn't make a Superman 1 joke with the kind of the turning back time, you know, and saving Lois Lane. Like, I'm surprised they didn't make that reference because I felt it was like right there for the serving. We talked about that last week, Marty. Yeah.
I guarantee they made that joke and it was just one of those.
Maybe it got cut. Maybe it got cut. Yeah, because it seems so obvious to me.
I'm surprised they didn't make a better like Thanos joke. Like he just was like, "All right, Thanos." Like I'm surprised.
I like that. I liked it. I was very fine subtle with it, but I'm quick.
Surprised.
The second movie will because what happened was this movie and Avengers was filmed at the same time.
They probably wouldn't let them do anything, you know, more than that. I would say.
There's no references. Oh, X-Force though. X-Force. This is gonna be an ass little Thanos jokes.
Like, I'm sure they wanted to do a snap your fingers joke somewhere, but Marvel said no.
that would have been fun.
They might not even known about that because these movies were made at the same time, so they might not even know.
Or not even on the next one. They would start it with Deadpool like fading away. And he's like, "Yeah, you can't get rid of me that easily," something like that. Or even they'll you know what they would do? They'll probably spoof the Spider-Man death and have Cable and Deadpool next to each other. He's like, "Mr. Cable, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to go."
Do you see that for some reason they came out? They've been coming out like every couple of weeks and like saying other people who are dead from that movie for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So people stop asking because
Aunt May is still alive. The first two Thor women, woman from Thor, who wasn't in the third one.
Sif.
Oh yeah.
She's dead. And there was
Sif is
one other
dead?
person who was dead. Yeah, they said she's dead. And there was some other like random character that was dead.
So I'm looking at characters that are in X-Force, and I'm wondering if there's any people that we'd want to probably see in a future X-Force
Shatterstar,
film.
but
Shatterstar's dead. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think I want to see
Deadpool.
Warpath. I
They
really
can say,
don't care
"Oh, that
about
wasn't the
Warpath.
real one."
Sorry.
I mean,
Caliban we've already seen. We saw him in Logan, right?
And
no.
X-Men Apocalypse. He
You know
was
what's
in
funny?
both.
Was Caliban
you know
in both?
who-
Yeah, Caliban was
Yeah,
in.
Caliban was in Logan and X-Men Apocalypse.
Which one is that one?
He's the one that had Psylocke hired.
Well, he's what's his name?
They changed actors.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Ricky Gervais's friend.
Yeah.
in
The
Logan.
Merchant.
Yeah, in Logan. Yeah.
In Logan, but in Apocalypse it was somebody else.
I mean, they kept
Yeah,
making
they killed
references to Archangel. They kept saying that. Was Archangel
Agent
in that
Wings.
background? Was he in the background in that room? He
because that-
wasn't, right?
Characters died in the last
He
one.
died in Apocalypse, right?
He kept calling them pigeon wings.
I mean, they could have brought back what's his name from the X United.
Let's see. There's Sunspot. Sunspot's a possible one that could.
Sunspot. He's in on The Gifted.
Yeah.
They're using him on The Gifted show.
I think that got canceled though.
No, it didn't.
Huh.
Which one got canceled?
Lucifer. That counts.
No, but there was another one of the Marvel ones got
Let's
canceled.
see. We've seen Psylocke, right? She was in. She's was Psylocke? She was in Apocalypse. Was that?
Yes.
Yeah,
what's her
yeah,
name?
she
Is that
was.
Olivia Munn?
Olivia Munn.
Olivia Munn.
Yeah,
She didn't
most-
die.
No, but they're not gonna use her.
No,
But
she
again-
just kind of walked away.
That world is again the '80s, so I don't think they're gonna. If they did it, they would do.
Like
something.
they care.
Yeah.
Look, they don't even care because, like, at this point, John McAvoy and Michael Fassbender had aged 30 years, and like it's been 10, so like they don't even care about the damn timeline.
Like,
Yeah, that's too.
there's no other like main X-Force characters that I think they're just gonna have to
They
pull.
murdered
They're
them
just
all.
gonna have to pull. They're gonna have to pull in like other characters. Like I mean, Colossus
No, but
wasn't
they-
an X-Force character. They can bring in
No,
other
they can-
X-Men
they-
characters that
But they can
Yeah.
bring anybody. I mean, they all right.
No,
For
sure.
one,
Like I mean, I listen. I not to say that I dislike the rendition of Bishop that we've seen, but I love Bishop as a character. Bishop was one of my favorite characters.
I would love it.
Bishop
I
in
mean,
as
they've been
X-Force. Fuck it.
talking. They've been talking a Gambit movie for so long. If you can somehow marry those worlds, that would work out well.
I don't know if who could play Gambit. I mean, I honestly, I don't see that.
Is Channing
rendition.
Tatum gonna play second fiddle to Ryan Reynolds though?
Sure, he
he
played.
didn't have a choice.
He does weird shit. He was in that fucking
He's in-
last.
That is true.
He was in Ghostbusters.
Yeah, he was in.
But he doesn't have a choice in this point. He doesn't have any carte blanche.
He was like he played a bit role in Kingsman. He played a bit role in GI
Yeah.
fucking Joe. I mean, he isn't. He doesn't sell tickets really. To be quite honest.
You know what though? They could use X-23. That way you get your Wolverine.
Yeah, I doubt it though because they just had
Um,
X-23 and Logan, right?
But that's the thing. We don't know where this universe is.
Yeah.
So they could do whatever they want. That's the fun thing about it. I would like to see them do, even though they did it horribly in the second Wolverine movie, but Silver Samurai properly. Gotta have that as a villain if they do it right.
I mean, if you ever got the Fantastic Four right, throw them in there. Who the fuck
Well,
cares?
Human Torch was in X-Force at one point, right?
Maybe.
Yeah,
Well,
I think
I
so.
don't know.
I think so.
Is this kid gonna be back? You think? Is he
No.
just?
No, he's done.
He'll be they'll probably reference him. He'll probably be at like the Xavier School or something like that. You know.
He's definitely powerful. I mean,
Yeah.
All right, there's one thing. One little minor thing that I have with the movie, right? It's not even with the movie. It's time travel.
Well, Don't start with time travel.
It's
No
just
one
the-
ever
I-
wins with time travel, Nick.
You can't. The infinite loop. It's an infinite loop, man. Like every time I see it done in movies, I get more and more mad at it because it's just like, all right, so now you're telling me Cable's family doesn't die, so that means he would have never went back to save them. So then it would have happened anyway, and then there's just this infinite loop. It's an infinite loop, and it's just like, all right, come on. I need a new time travel device. That's it. I'm just kind of done with time travel.
Time travel stuff.
Time travel, yeah, it would never make sense unless it's like what's that one movie, that low budget movie? Was it Primer or some shit?
Primer did. Yeah, Primer did. Yeah.
Yeah, but that shit boring as shit. So you know you don't want that. Like,
no, but Looper did well. Looper did it well.
No, I hated Looper.
You didn't like Looper?
Looper's a piece of shit.
Wow.
oh man, and, you know, and that guy went on to direct The Last Jedi.
Rain Johnson.
So it's all a circle. Hey Marty, how you doing?
Smiling.
I don't know.
Listen, I love the Terminator movies, but it fucks with time travel and it doesn't make sense. Like,
It does.
Terminator reference to the movie too.
There was a Terminator reference in the movie. There was a couple other like outside
It was a John
references.
Connor
Yeah,
movie.
Yeah, there's,
Oh, he
yeah,
called Cable John
Connor.
Connor. That's right.
Yeah.
No, there's a
There
couple of
was
other-
there's a scene that they shot for the end credits that they didn't have the balls, I guess, to put in, where he goes back and kills baby Hitler.
Well, like I was saying earlier to you, it just doesn't make sense with the movie because this is exactly what Cable's doing.
So I think the director was saying that maybe they'll put that in the on the DVD, but they're not sure.
Oh yeah, that would have been great.
You know what's a slick choice?
I don't know how that would have played, to be quite honest. That would have been odd.
It would have been weird.
Well,
That's
because
what you
you'd have to
keep-
have a baby with a mustache. I mean, that's the
Yeah,
only way to
I don't know
play
how
it.
you
You
say
know?
it.
Yeah, like you had to like, and like a little small wig with that stupid haircut Hitler had. Yeah,
The hipster haircut. They slickly introduced Mojo World as an actual thing.
they did, but again, Shellstar dies.
He dies,
So-
but Mojo World exists, so now you know they can do Mojo. So,
And I'm sure they do it well because they've done everything else well. I mean, you know,
oh, and that CGI is gonna look amazing. He's gonna look like Krang and the Turtles, but worse.
I mean,
Look at the
Uh,
fucking head with the barbs.
Dan and I both like this better than the first one, of course.
I did. I like
guys
this better
say-
than the first one. Yeah.
I did too, and I like the
Yeah.
first one. I'm a huge Deadpool fan, but I feel like they hit everything that they had to hit with this one.
That's not uncommon though. Most second movies are better than the first one. It's really the third one where the problems come up.
Most.
I wouldn't
mean,
say most.
Captain-
most say, no.
Civil War. We like. I think everyone
Oh,
says
most
Captain
of these
America
comic
2 was.
book movies.
Yeah.
For Soldier. Well, no, except for Iron Man 2 wasn't the better of the
No,
two.
It wasn't
I mean,
better
Thor,
than
2,
the two.
Thor 2 was probably the worst of the trilogy. I know you
Yeah.
like it, Dan.
I
but it's
do like
the
Thor too, but no, I'd say it's the weakest of the three. I mean, I still like it. I don't shit on it like a lot of people do, but I would put, Ragnarok is my favorite of the Thors. Honestly,
Right. Yeah, me too.
I love Ragnarok. I rewatched it
and
again.
it's not even a
Yeah.
Thor movie. It's
It's
just
not, but it's fun.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's the best Guardians of the Galaxy movies we've seen. It's Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, come on. The Guardians movies are good. But yeah, Guardians 2 isn't better than Guardians 1.
I liked it better than Guardians 1.
I didn't like.
I
either.
you know what? I think Guardians 1 is better,
Yeah, I think it's better,
but
but
the ending of Guardians 2 is better because like
Yes, yes.
I
Final-
hate the ending to Guardians 1. Like
That
I really
goddamn
do.
breakdancing, man.
The dance
Oh
off.
my god! Like
But they self-reference it too in Infinity War. He's like, "What, you're gonna dance off this time?" Like they know it's stupid. Like, so I don't know. Whatever. Avengers 2 wasn't better than Avenger 1.
No.
oh god, no.
I mean, if we're right, Ultron's probably near the bottom
weak-
of these, right? I mean,
Like because it means nothing. Like it feels like it means nothing. It feels like a complete placeholder.
Yeah.
It did some fun things.
I mean,
but-
no, it's not terrible. Again, I'm not like everybody else. I have a scale, and like Age of Ultron, I'm like I don't like that much, but it's still better than say fucking the Phantom
Let me
or
tell you.
Batman and Robin. So like, fuck it, you know what I'm saying? Like, anyway, if Age of Ultron would have came out 8 years ago, we would have loved it.
Let me tell you something. When I came out of the theater after watching Age of Ultron, I said to myself, "This is better than the first Avengers," because
you were high on crack.
no, I might have been. Now, the first Avenger is super campy, and that always bothers me about the first Avengers. It's way too campy. it's just like an extreme amount of let's give him the hero shot. We're together now. Oh, let's do this. It was too much of that in the first one. So when I watched the second one, I'm in IMAX. We went to Lincoln Center. We watched it in like a full IMAX. It was just a different experience. Then when I watched it at home, I was like, yeah, this is pretty bad. At the time, I was just like, at least it wasn't so campy. You know what I mean? But when I really got to break it down.
Marvel movies will do that to you. Like again, none of them are offensively bad. They all just kind of to good. So when you come like, no, that was pretty good. Then when you think about it, like, you know what, that's not as good as I remember.
Or the reverse, you get like something like an Iron Man 3 where people are like, it's shitty, but then when you really watch it, Iron Man 3 is pretty dope.
I love Iron Man 3. Fuck all them fanboys. Yeah. Like, seriously, fuck them all. Like, the Mandarin, fuck the Mandarin.
I love that twist.
Yeah, me too. Like, what the fuck they gonna do with that racist ass character, but what they did?
Exactly. And I think that was the reason they did it.
I love the cartoon version of the Mandarin, like from the 90s cartoon.
Yeah,
like, I love it, but there's no fucking way that they could do that in a movie. There's no goddamn way they can make that Mandarin character.
You know,
green skin and all, they could not do that. Yeah.
Fu Manchu mustache.
Yeah, that is racist.
I miss MODOK. I wanted MODOK though. I still want MODOK to fucking show up in one of these movies.
You see, this is my thing. If Disney end up buying Fox and they continue with the Deadpool movies as is, MODOK is such a Deadpool character.
Yeah.
Like, that's a character you put, because that's a character you can't take seriously live action. But Deadpool would take that character as he looks in the comic books and put like 8 scenes of CG on it and just have it look weird and creepy.
And they'll do it on purpose and reference how weird and creepy it looks.
Yeah, like it would be perfect. So like that's best case scenario. But yeah,
you know, the Deadpool movies also kind of like lead you to think that Deadpool's filming his own movie. Like if you watch with the credits, if you pay attention to the credits, there was one little part of the credit where it kind of showed Deadpool behind the camera filming himself. So they kind of play with the idea that he's like filming his own movie, and they do mention the direction and all the stuff in the credits and stuff like that. I do love the choice that they made to do the Bond credits.
Oh, the opening credits. It's like
one half of the guys that killed John Wick's dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's very referential. So he could do
that. Was great too. Where it was like, wow, did they really just kill her? Written by, holy shit, what did they just really? Is she dead?
They really put on screen what you were thinking, because I was thinking that right after they killed. I was like, damn, they killed her already.
They fridged the shit out of her, then they unfridged her.
Okay, now a minor plot point issue that I have now that bringing this up is when he goes to kill that dude and he locks himself in that little safe room, right? And then the 13 dudes come out and he runs from those 13 dudes. There's no reason for him to run from those 13 dudes, even though they got guns.
No.
He could have just killed them fucking all.
I was thinking that too. Maybe he ran out of bullets.
It doesn't matter.
He has swords.
He's got swords.
I know.
What are they gonna do? Dismember him? I mean,
I guess we just needed a reason for Pinder to show up.
No, again, it was all done for comedic kind of, but it made no sense for him to run out of that room. And just the catalyst for his wife getting killed is that he left all these guys alive.
Like in 13 dudes, we've seen him kill way more than 13 dudes in these movies. We see him destroy a whole convoy of cars with dudes in it. But these 13 dudes, nah, let me go. I gotta go.
Did you feel any of the emotion from the wife, from the girl?
I did actually.
I did.
It looked like they were really happy and they were gonna have a kid and stuff, and you kind of got the sense they were talking about it for a while.
Like that was the only seriousness in the whole movie.
Yeah.
And it actually works. That and like some of the stuff with the kid.
Some of the kid stuff.
Black Tom.
I thought,
oh my god!
Wait, no, Black Tom Cassidy. I really, for the minute when they showed him, I was like, please don't tell me they made Bishop White. If they made Bishop White, I'm gonna riot. And then they mentioned it was Black Tom. I was like, okay.
Keep calling Cable racist the entire movie.
Just great. That was great too.
And Black Tom Cassidy's kind of a big character, and they just awful. It's great. It's just they kill all these like halfway sacred cows. It's wonderful. But I do have one problem with the movie, and this is a weird problem. I don't think Deadpool is ugly enough. He's still like a handsome burn victim.
Well, like if you go back and watch the original, he's ugly for like the first 20 minutes of when it happens. But then, like after a while, it just kind of looks like Ryan Reynolds a little fucked up. It's not like
yeah, like he like a really handsome Freddy Krueger after a while.
Well, you know what happened? They mentioned it in the first movie. She's like, I could get used to this. We just got used to it.
I was about to say, it's just kind of unfair. Is you get a burnt ass Ryan Reynolds, which probably still have more game than I would, and it's just not fair. Like honestly,
Yeah. I love that when he's in the house where he's just wearing like house clothes. It's like, all right, he wears house clothes. All right, cool. I do love Blind Al.
Oh, Blind Al goes to get the cocaine.
He's great. And then
which was a good callback to the first one where he says, "You think he's joking that there's how many kilos of coke underneath the floor?"
Yeah.
For the cure to blindness.
I love that he labels it like she could read the label. Like Wade's coke. Yeah, I mean, it's the little touches. That's what I appreciate about what they're doing with this movie. It's the little touches.
Go ahead, my bad.
No, go ahead.
No, I was about to say this movie made me like Cable, and I fucking hate Cable. That's all I want to say.
I like Cable how he. I've always liked Cable how he looks. I think he's one of the most badass designed comic characters to me. Oh, there was another reference.
There was another reference.
The Winter Soldier arm.
The Winter Soldier arm. That's another one. Yep, you're
right.
And the Rod Liefeld reference when he said made by a guy who can't draw feet. That was a Rod Liefeld reference.
Yeah.
And he goes to Cable when he's asking about in the future is dubstep still a thing, which kept coming up. And then he also said, "Do people get tired of the robotic arm thing in the future?"
Oh, it's so I don't know.
They name drop Hope, who's a really important character in the comic books. That's his daughter.
Summers, right? Hope Summers.
Yeah.
Which I guess is what Cyclops' granddaughter. Right?
I don't know because I was get her and like Rachel mixed up. They both from like the future. They both red hair and connected to Jean Grey. And look, it's X-Men. All right, man. Look.
Hope is the one that the catalyst for Avengers vs. X-Men. She was the catalyst for it, where they had to kill all the X-Men. Which leads me to think they're dropping subtle hints where if they do buy Fox, the next big antagonist for the MCU could be the X-Men, and you do Avengers vs. X-Men.
That's got to be at least 15, 20 years out, though. I don't know.
No, not that long. Because you don't have to do too much to reintroduce the X-Men. We don't need another X-Men origin story.
Marty, you don't understand something, Marty. As big as the Avengers are, you think the Avengers are? The X-Men are 30 times bigger.
Oh, no, I understand. But I'm saying just like it took us, 10 years to get from Iron Man 1 to where we are now.
Yeah, well, because they also
now these characters are developed, so they can speed things up. If they get Galactus tomorrow, you're sure as shit they're gonna fucking bring Galactus.
Oh my God.
I mean, because Galactus is just the fucking Thanos of,
and if they get the Fantastic Four, for instance, you could just pop. They were in the quantum realm. They're there. And you don't have to explain them. You could just because people already know what that is. The same thing with the X-Men.
Well, they're setting up the quantum realm in Ant-Man, aren't
exactly.
They? Yeah.
So they could hide anybody there.
Yeah.
Guess former guest host Jack Random, Marty's arch nemesis.
BFF. Yeah.
Actually had like the best idea is like what's it called just said, like they just pop up. Like everybody knew about them. Like one day Tony said, you know who we need right now? Richards. You remember when he disappeared about 10 years ago with his family? Like, yeah, that was weird. Then they just popped back up like, oh shit.
And you know what's funny? That makes a hell of a lot more sense than fucking Nick Fury's stupid beeper for Captain Marvel.
Oh my god. Yeah. She's been around since 1992. But
I get the beeper thing. That's fine. I was fine with
Loki
that.
showed up to fuck up New York. We're like, nah. These guys have it. These guys have it.
When the incident happened, he couldn't call her.
When Ultron's around, you know what? Still, we don't need her yet. She's chilling.
Yeah.
She's chilling.
But you know what though, that's like a comic book issue. Like that's one thing. Like the more comic booky they make these things, these questions that you never really ask in comic books, like are going to come up. Like
I ask them all the time. I'm an asshole when it comes to that.
It's like
shit.
they shared.
It never made sense.
Why Spider-Man and the X-Men? And why is
Why
Spider-Man fucking fighting this dude?
Why
can't fucking Wolverine come and help him out right now?
Like why is Spider-Man getting the shit beat out of him by the Lizard? You can't call like Luke Cage to come help you. Like, hey,
while the incident's going on, right? While the incident's going on, you gonna tell me whatever hair Luke Cage is cutting is more important than finding the Chitauri? Like, is that fade that more important? No.
It's like no matter what, it's like, why isn't Silver Surfer here?
Exactly.
Why isn't Adam Warlock here? Like,
Oh, well,
why,
now
like Iron Man 3, like all that shit goes down. He literally has a Rolodex of super friends he can call. And I heard people try to justify it as in, wait, no, like this was personal to him and he didn't want to make no phone call. Like, that's bullshit. Like Nick would have came and helped. Nick Fury would have came and helped him or something. Like it just, you just have to accept it.
The only thing that would have justified this for me though is if they made these timelines where all of these movies were happening at the exact same time. Like, well, Thor Dark World is happening at the exact same time as this, so Thor can't be here to help, you know?
I think they kind of do, though. Like, because they're very loose with their timelines, so, like, we don't know when things are happening.
If they were better planned, though, they could make references to shit. You know, in the background on the TV, you could see something else happening, you know?
But that happens. They do have the TV stuff sometimes in the background. They let you know that there's stuff going on. But, like, Winter Soldier, for instance, they're destroying DC. Iron Man's not around. He can't send one of his little drones that already exists.
I think they explain. That's the one movie where they try to explain it, where it's like, oh, we can't trust anybody or communications or whatever the fuck right now or some shit.
You know what that movie did though? Actually,
but you think Tony would just come? Like you know, if Tony's chilling, he looking on the news like, damn, Cap and Nick are really in trouble. Maybe I should go help. Nah, no.
Just like he popped up for Spider-Man. I mean, he didn't have to, technically.
Well, he kept calling. That's why.
This is why if you do bring the X-Men, you need to establish that they're from... Because they're already playing with the dimension thing. And you have to establish they're from a different dimension.
No, not really.
Way too much shit happens in New York for the X-Men not to pop up in New York.
You could use what's-her-name as the catalyst. If she comes back and she's pissed off that Vision is dead, and then she can be the catalyst to create mutants. I mean, you know, like... It could happen, right? And you know.
I'm about to say something that might make comic book fans really upset.
You already accept the gays, so why not?
Well, you know what? Well, no, Marty, you offend black people at least every other week.
Once every week.
So you know we're about even. No,
I didn't ask you Jefferson's question before. That was Dan.
No, but your separate but equal question answer.
Yeah, still works. I think that I gotta fine tune it, but I think we can all agree on that.
I asked him today. I was like, "Did you use your app before you saw the movie, asshole?"
Look, the X-Men really don't need to be in the MCU, and here's why.
They don't.
And here's why. And this is one of the questions in comic books that always bothered me, because you know the whole thing about X-Men, they're persecuted, right? I've always had a problem with this, even when I was 5. Like, it makes no sense in a world full of superheroes why this certain set of superpowered people are hated. Like, they love the Thing, but they hate Beast. Like it makes no sense. Like, you scared of Cyclops, but Miss Marvel with her alien blood.
Radiation's okay.
Yeah, like, it don't make any sense. Like, so, like, even in the comics, the X-Men almost exist in their own universe. Like you know, they almost exist within the vacuum within the Marvel universe. So you almost...
I think it's because they tried too hard to do the Malcolm Martin thing, and they got backed into a wall with the logic of having other characters around. I think they tried too hard to do the civil rights reference. They tried.
Well, you know,
they mentioned that in Deadpool too. The civil rights reference of X-Men.
But but here's the thing, though. That's actually not true. That's actually not Stan Lee's inspiration. What happened was when he made X-Men, there was only like 15 heroes in that universe at the time. Now there's hundreds. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. Like, the main conceit was they was hated, and that was fine in 1964 when it was just Ant-Man, Thor, Spider-Man, and Captain America.
Yeah.
But since that's the main conceit, and there's hundreds of characters now, it makes no sense why this set of super people are figure. Like, it just makes it doesn't make any sense. So I don't think they need X-Men. Unless you want to bring in Wolverine, then by all means, fuck up the universe. I don't care. Just bring in Wolverine.
He would be so fun to see. But actually, what I would rather see is Spider-Man pop up in the Deadpool movie, because their interactions are amazing. Because the way they write Deadpool, they write him to say that the thing he most is inspired by in the world is Peter Parker. And he has this like, oh, man, I want to impress Peter Parker. That's how they write it in the comics. That'd be fun to see on film.
I mean, he's basically a Murray Spider-Man.
Yeah, with the quips and everything.
Yeah, with the quips and everything. He's a Murray Spider-Man. That's what he is. He looks like Deathstroke, and he quips like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I think we went a little too geeky this episode, but I love it. I love it.
Yeah, we did. I'm so sorry.
No,
I think the movie led us that way though.
I think so. I think so.
They did too much of that.
I think it was a good chat, and listen. It's a fun movie. I'll check it out again when it's on Gale.
This is the first one in a while that we all universally like without many issues, I must say.
Yeah. Again, a couple things here and there. But overall, it's a great time, and sign me up for a Domino movie. No lie.
Yeah,
Well, I can see that. Well, I can see some of it. I don't want to see an origin story.
No origin story. No.
Yeah, I'm kind of done with origin stories.
Unless they just splice her into Wolverine origins.
Remember, luck is not a superpower. Remember
it's not
that.
a superpower, yeah.
Well, those are great.
Peter.
Oh, Peter's coming back.
Peter's coming back. Yeah,
he is confirmed alive for the next movie.
Like, just run, Papa Bear.
If you're on LinkedIn, Peter is on LinkedIn.
Yeah,
he's got a LinkedIn account. Cool. So.
You know who I wish they brought back because they didn't really define whether or not he was dead. Hydra Bob.
Who was that?
In the first Deadpool, when he's with the Ajax at the end, he runs into one of the.
Bob. Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, Bob, it's you." That's Hydra Bob. He's an ongoing character in Deadpool comics where he's a Hydra agent that basically he's kind of like Deadpool's informant, but he's also like an idiot, so he's always around him.
I don't think that guy was dead, from what I remember.
That's what I'm saying. It would have been fun to see him because he's a reoccurring character type of thing.
Yeah.
Well, now they're gonna have to get rid of T.J. Miller because they confirmed that they're not gonna put him in any more movies. So
yeah,
because he's a fuck up.
Well, he had half of his brain cut out, so I mean,
huh?
Yeah, he had some weird fucking brain surgery thing. Like it's bizarre. Like there's a bunch of shit like that wrong with him. Like yeah.
Well, they had the sexual harassment thing, which I think he could have got past, but then he did the whole the bomb threat thing. He called in a bomb threat. Like it just like apparently he's a nihilist. That's how he like.
Yeah, he had seizures. He had brain surgery, and they had to remove this like part of his brain. And ever since then, he's been just completely fucked up. So I mean, people say it's the drugs, but I'm sure the drugs aren't helping. But when you have part of your fucking brain taken out, maybe he needs two brains. He needs to be the man with two brains. Then he'll have a resurgence. So, yeah.
Maybe.
I'll pour one out for T.J. Miller's brain fucking piece. All right. Let's wrap up another episode of the Movie Stuff Show so Jamill can get to work. I'm sure he's running late. Please make sure to like this video, subscribe to us over here on YouTube. Marty's got videos posted over our faces. He'll probably show last week's episode where we talk about Deadpool not being a top 20 movie. We'll have to revisit that at some point. Maybe we'll do a top 20 comic book movies and see where Deadpool ranks at some point in time. Please make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Movie Stuff Show, and also on Instagram at Movie Stuff Show. Cool picture of Marty sitting in the clean Millennium Falcon.
I have one of those on Facebook as well.
Yep. Marty's sitting in the clean Millennium Falcon. I blame him for dirtying it up.
White people always fuck it up.
Yeah. I listen. I didn't live.
You said I didn't.
I didn't live with you when we lived in Bayonne together, so I can't blame you for that mess. But that apartment was pretty.
Well, Lando is pansexual, so
no, he's not. No, the fuck look! Do not make me go on a.
If we see the movie and it comes up in the movie, I'll let you rant. But if it's just something that one of the people said to kind of just get a headline,
it's such bullshit racism tokenism. Like if you look at the history of like media, right? If there's an all-white cast, if they have like one black person, one person of color, they just not like a normal person. I mean, not saying gay is something wrong with gay, but like they're either gay and persecuted, or they're like criminals, or they come from a broken home. So
they're extra in a way that you can't even say shit about them. Because if you do, you're automatic. They're put in a way where you can't make one complaint about the character. Because if you do, you're just all types of wrong with the world now. That's how they do it. So you can't even complain about nothing.
And like it's so weird that he says it, right? And it's just for fucking shitty brownie points. Cause like, if you really want to be brave, say Han Solo's pansexual. Say or jump to a whole nother universe. Say
Chewbacca is pansexual.
Yeah.
All right.
Say Luke is pansexual.
Also,
or
I'm not even
cisexual.
sure who said this thing. It didn't come from Ron Howard.
Casting. Well, Lawrence Kasdan, the screenwriter.
The younger one or the older one?
The older one.
Well, he didn't even write this. He wrote half the script. If that, I think he just supervised his son writing
But
it. So.
He wrote that part.
My point is, it's this weird thing where like a black person just can't be. It's always got to be this extra shit on top of it. Again, there's nothing wrong with being gay. Gay don't make you any less. But there's one nigga in the whole galaxy, 60 million white people in species, and aliens all in the galaxy, and the one of two niggas in the whole galaxy is pansexual, but not the hero. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to protect like that white hero masculinity. But fuck it. Look at the one black guy, that every straight kid, that every black kid glommed onto because they ain't have a daddy growing up, make him pansexual.
Jamil,
What if he just
what you
means
don't
he's
realize
also...
though is that Childish Gambino video is just all about how he's pansexual as well. That dance is a pansexual dance. It has nothing to do with
all those dances. No, those are all hip hop dances, and yes, they are all kind of gay.
But no. But it's interesting. I think they only made this decision because Donald Glover is playing them. Because when Donald Glover did his own little, he did like a little, like he wrote his own little thing, and in it kind of implied that he fucks men too in some weird way.
I think it's that he fucks robots.
But see, that's stupid though, because
in Blade Runner, who doesn't?
But you see that like that's the argument I heard. Like, well, it just means he has sex with aliens and robots too. So do Kurt, but nobody calls Kurt pansexual. Kurt dips his dick in all type of blue and green strange. But the one black guy, like if we're using that definition of it, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we're using that definition that it's just different species and robots. Dudes fuck sex robots now. Are they pansexual? No, it's weird. Like,
I bet you more fuck Data.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, if I was queer, if I was a queer person, I would be upset because you pay lip service to some shit that you're never gonna show. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it just screams of bullshit. It screams of tokenism. It just screams of like, hey, white guy getting a pat on the back. Please don't look into my past because I'm pretty sure I raped a woman.
Well, that's what. No, they did the same thing with the Star Wars, where they made
Lawrence Kasdan didn't rape anybody.
Shit, are you sure?
They did the same thing with Star Trek, where they made Sulu gay just because the original actor was gay. So they said, let's just make the new character gay.
And George Takei said, no, don't make him gay. Yeah, and they still did it. Like, it's just these shitty pats on the back that doesn't mean anything. It's not that Lando might be gay or pansexual. It's so disingenuous to me.
Well, let's see the movie. Maybe it matters, and then
No, it does. It's not going to matter. That's what I'm saying.
I would have liked that Palpatine was gay.
He could have been. We never seen Palpatine.
I'm gonna tell you something. If you really want to be brave, if you really want to pat on the back, make Luke gay. Make Luke pansexual, bisexual.
Well, he's sister sexual.
That is true. That is true. But you know what I'm saying? But like, it's just funny to me. And like, most of the people yelling at me has been straight white man, like yelling at me. Well, look at Lando. Like, there's always straight white men that want to yell at me, tell me I'm wrong about my own people. It's really weird. Like, I'm just saying, if you look at media, like if there's one black person and a bunch of white people in the cast, there's gonna be a lot of shit. Like, there's just gonna be all type of shit. Like, with that black character, he just can't be a regular dude chilling. Like I said, he either got to be gay in the closet and persecuted. Like he's a former, like, Designing Women. You remember Designing Women? Like, there's one black guy and he's friendly and funny, but apparently he was a former criminal. Why is that fucking even in there? Why is that in there? Revenge of the Nerds. There's one gay dude. There's one black dude in Revenge of the Nerds, and he's gay. Why? Why is it him?
I feel you.
Mannequin. One black dude.
Hollywood.
Yeah, like,
come and eat me, Hollywood.
And I do think in this movie it's just because it's Donald Glover though. But you're right.
I like that we got a Designing Women reference.
Yes, I haven't heard the word of. I haven't heard that show.
Which will likely get rebooted soon enough because that's
no.
We just got a Murphy Brown reboot coming, so
no one can ever match Annie Potts ever. my first crush.
Hashtag Annie Potts for life.
Ghostbusters 2 with that gold between her legs.
All right, let's wrap it up. Good night, everyone.
Night,
Good night.
everybody.
Bye.